hated it first.
There we are, see?
At first. But it didn't take very long, literally probably a matter of minutes really, to start to become comfortable with it.
Because a lot of people don't like a teleprompter, and you don't have to work with a teleprompter. That's if you're one of these people that are able to get through things very quickly and you're able to retain a lot of information, that's fantastic. But when you're anxious and you don't know what to say, sometimes a teleprompter is fantastic. And one of the things that I've noticed with you is that it's made you a lot more concise, and it's made the process much, much easier, and for you to deliver a message that you're really happy with. Well, I assume he's happy. He's still here. How do you find using a teleprompter?
I hated it first.
There we are, see?
At first. But it didn't take very long, literally probably a matter of minutes really, to start to become comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then this time around, once I'd sort of laid some of those frames within my brain around using it, because we get better at what we practice on, I came to actually sort of really appreciate it and love it. But the thing that can often happen, I think personally with teleprompters, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's what I believe, is that you can sometimes get so focused in on just the reading of the words that you lose some of the emotion and some of the what's the right word, the gesturing and all that sort of stuff. So now that I've got comfortable with using the teleprompter, what I'm tending to find is that that's quite natural, and I start to do the gestures and the facial movements and the so that I'm not just reading almost like, I don't know what the right term
I
would
was
be,
exactly the same.
But now I'm comfortable with it. I'm a lot happier to just do the hands things and all the gesturing, what have you.
For me, it was a natural evolution, and the reason being is that I didn't use a teleprompter for a long time, but I found that when I was recording a video, I was floundering, I was going off tangents, and the act of creating a video became arduous, and it became a burden. And I was just like, right, okay, this has to change. What can I do to improve that? Well, that meant to use a teleprompter, but then you introduce a new problem.
Yeah.
How do you get around looking at the teleprompter without looking like a dummy?
Yeah.
And that is the first part. So then you've got to learn to read the teleprompter, and that's then the first stage, because then it allows you to streamline your content to a point where I noticed that when you had the script back and then you put your stamp on it, because you were conscious of the way the teleprompter worked and you were conscious of how you interacted it, the way that you wrote it was still yourself, but it also aligned with how you had to deliver it for the teleprompter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you got the next stage.
Made a conscious effort to do that, very much so, this time around.
But that's because you're aware of the process and aware of everything that needs to happen. And then the next stage then is that once you are confident with the teleprompter, that is when you can then start learning how to, for instance, we've got it here, I've got some questions on the screen. You learn then how to actually pause the teleprompter, how to do your gestures, when to you do the gestures, and how to perhaps, because I do it a lot, I look away. So if I'm pretending to think about something, I might look off to the right or to the left, or I might pretend to look at my cup of coffee or drink, just so that there's enough that you don't think, okay, he's reading off a teleprompter. It gives you
enough of a break, sort of a thought break, I like to call it. Yeah.
And particularly what I noticed with this one, when you had the script and you rewrote to suit your voice, because as much as I can do a good job of writing a script, until it's in your hands and you put your cadence in and your word in, then it transcends into something much, much better.